Obviously, 3 points is 3 points. We need it, but we always tell our guys we play to a standard, we play to an expectation, and I didn't think we did that tonight.
I was going to ask you because the main thing was each team scored 3 goals in the second period, but what was that message like going into the third? It was 2-0 to 5-3
Yeah,
going into the third.
yeah. Like our captain Dalton Norris, I thought did a really good job because again he preaches the same sentiments, right? Of it's not a hey, we're up by two, we're not, we. I always say to our guys, like, if you play to a score, you're gonna be really disappointed at the end. You play to the level that we want to play to, and our discipline wasn't good, our penalty kill wasn't good, our D zone wasn't good. Now, mind you, on the flip side, I know we're all going to look at it and say, hey, we scored 9 goals, off it, one being an empty netter. But we have to learn, continue to learn to be. And I don't want to be critical on it. Like, you still got the win, right? So at the end of the day, but we have to learn to create separation. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the game, the flow of the game, right? We go up 2-0, 2-1, right? Then we go back up 3-1, 3-2. Then we go up 4-2, right? 5-2, 5-3. Like, it's always like we never got that separation. The 2 goal lead in hockey is the hardest one. It's either you go up 3 or up 1 from that point. So our group needs to have a hard reset tomorrow. Feel good about winning, and a lot of guys got on the point score sheet. But at the end of the day, I don't think if you were to ask our guys, they're happy for the win, but I don't think they were probably excited about how we played to our standard.
Yeah, Morneau gets his first one, makes it 3-1, but they score 12 seconds later. So in
Yeah.
some cases, it was like you almost couldn't celebrate the goal.
No, right off that center ice face off, hey? Try to go DDD, fell, and back of the net quickly, right? So, um, yeah, what can we do? I got to watch some film, and we got to try to get better.
Despite the kind of chaos at times defensively, how'd you feel like Jacob fared tonight with the 5 going in?
He needs to be better. You know, I 5 goals on 21 shots isn't acceptable either. Just no different than our penalty kill wasn't acceptable, our D zone wasn't acceptable. Often like so. Everyone's held to a high standard here, an expectation, and guys need to, continue. We need to continue to elevate, not take a step back, often. So hopefully we can learn from this, and this will help us get rewired and refocus and come out more determined. But they're going to come out too. Their coach is going to make adjustments. Their guys are going to make some changes in their lineup. We're going to make changes in our lineup, and we're going to see what team can out battle the other one till the last one, makes a mistake and somebody capitalizes. That's really what the game's all about.
3 power play chances, 2 goals. Were you impressed on how quickly they were? Because both of them were within the first 10 to 15 seconds of the power play starting for you guys.
For their power play goals, sorry.
Your goals, actually. Your two were
Oh
very
yeah, I
quick.
always score two. I call it 2 for 3. I always think when you get a late call like that, I think you should be able to negate it. I always think that's always a call to kind of make it look like it's closer than it's not. Like sure he slashed the stick out of her hand, but there's a minute left and everyone. So really, I look at our group going 2 for 3, on the night, and it's some really nice power play goals. But we need that. Your power play and penalty kill is such an influential part of the game. It can keep you in a game. It can separate you from a game. It can, it does so much. It builds up, your momentum on the bench when you have a really good kill. Guys are up, block shots, clapping, banging their sticks, just like a power play. And you may not score in the power play, but what you want to do is hopefully change your opponent's mindset on the power play by having good quality looks, good loose puck recoveries, good entries, and so happy to see them, get a couple goals.
Was Adams' penalty, was it somewhat bittersweet because it started as a clean hit and a couple extra chops and it's led to the
I'm not
goal?
sure. I'm not even sure what they were reviewing or anything. You'll have to ask. I'm not sure. I have a hard time these days. I'm wondering what gets reviewed and what doesn't out there. So I just sit there and listen to feedback.
You mentioned, penalty kill and power play there. Is penalty something that you want to look for going into yesterday, or did you feel like it was more so the physicality plays that resulted in penalties tonight?
Well, I'm having a hard time. I guess me personally, just kind of, we're going to take penalties. So we're going to play aggressive. We're not going to sit on our heels. We're not letting another team dictate or come into our rink and push us around, off it. But at the same time, we took a couple that weren't you know smart on our part either, right? So a lot like we need to clean up some of those kind of lazy or selfish penalties. Like the hard hitting ones. Like it was a physical game. I thought if you're gonna play as hard as we do, you're gonna take penalties. That's otherwise, we're gonna sit back, play a real boring game. A 1-3-1 neutral zone, not hit anybody, and 100 people will show up.
Yeah.
Our job is to put out a product that wins hockey games, that entertains fans, that plays with high conviction and pace and physicality, and so. But we got to be better. But it's one of those because whenever you get, I've been on both sides of it, right, where you've had two power plays and 10 power plays, and I just really think when you get to these games, I always say officials need to ref to not to a score, just like we don't play to a score. I've been in a lot of leagues too, and even this year and last year where the games are played, kind of keep team, you know what I mean, off it. Now, don't get me wrong, we deserve some of these, 100%. But that's the way it goes. But we got to clean that up for sure, though. Like giving up 7 power plays to our 3.5 that we got, I wouldn't say is very good on our part.
Yeah. Flipping into the offensive zone now, you mentioned the last couple of games about playing desperate.
Mhm.
At the time, how did you feel like the team played desperate today, just not taking their foot off the gas and the offensive zone throughout the 3 periods?
Well, it's crazy. My dad's here, right? And he's like, I've never seen so many goals that just fell on guys' sticks. Like both sides of it, like all of a sudden, guys at the back door and a shot ricochets off 3 guys. Even some of our goals and their goals, it's like, oh my gosh, I just scored. So, but again, for a team that, if you look at the first weekend, we scored 2 goals, right, in 120 minutes, and if it's good to get guys to feel good. Jake Sloan, what a goal! It's been a long time coming for Jake Sloan, right? Noah Morneau in his line, Dominic Ryman and Quinn Emerson. They're the best 3 on the ice. They're the best 3 for us. Nobody was even close to that line. They it's not, they got rewarded, but they played the game fast, hard. They're connecting the old zone, off it. So more guys have to understand that if you want to have success, you have to play with that type of pace and grit to you. So, but it's nice to see guys score. Brody Waters, great to see him score. Right, he's been on how many games we played. That was his first one, right off it. Jake Sloan. So it's always nice, to see guys, kind of get some confidence from it and get rewarded.
Yeah, that first line you mentioned again scored, I believe, 5 goals and 5 assists today out of the total points for the game. Just what have you seen like them bonding together, especially considering you've been very complimentary of Morneau and Ryman as the season's progressed?
Yeah, well, what they got is they just have an engine. They play, they work on their craft, they love the game of hockey. You'll never find a guy more happier than Dominic Ryman when someone else scores. And even on the bench, you can hear him cheering for everybody, block shots, and as I always say, those guys with Quinn have found some chemistry, and they will, Mo and Dom were on the power play when that Tyler scored, off the backboards and out. So it's interesting. They go to the right areas, but now how do they bottle that up and keep playing with the same consistency? That's the challenge because again, Ferris will make some changes. We have to make some changes and be ready for a different team, and we definitely got to be better.
Coach, you mentioned putting on the entertaining product. Seems to be one of the larger student section turnouts we've had so far this season. What was it like playing in front of that crowd today?
Yeah, it's great. It's hard for me to see to that far down there. I'm not very big, so when I stand on the bench and everyone stands up, I have to have them all sit down. I saw a bunch of loud, great fans chanting, during the reviews and that, off it, and when we play here and it gets loud out there, it's an intimidating place to play, and a credit to the student section, the fans, at the game. And like I said, yeah, like at the end of the day, how do you not go home entertained? 14 goals tonight? Is that what it was? Like, holy smokes. I've never been in a game, I think, where there's been 14 goals total. I didn't even know what to think. It was just like one after. And as Kevin said, they were so fast. It's like you go up 5-3, you're about to give a guy great job, and it's 5-4. You're like 6-4. So but no, it was good and very, very grateful and thankful for the student section.
Coach, after having 4 straight overtime/shootout games, is it a little bit of a relief to be able to come out with a win in regulation?
I probably was thinking we were going to go to it again the way the game was going. Did you think that?
every time.
Yeah, yeah. There's times in my head too on the bench. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be five now. You know what's good. Like I said, at the end of the day, never critique a win. I always tell our guys, enjoy the win because wins are so hard to come by. But at the same time, my challenge to them is we play to a standard. We play to a standard, and if you play to a standard, good things will follow you, right? So we caught a break tonight and scored outdid them in the we're like the Toronto Blue Jays, baseball right now. They just hit home runs, right? We got fortunate tonight where we hit more home runs than they did, but they were right there with us. So, if there was another period of hockey, I don't know which way it would go, but at the end of the day, we got our 3 points and we can move on.
9 goals. What was it like to see 9 go in?
I mean, like, pretty good for confidence. You don't see many games like that anywhere you play, especially college. I think that me, Dom, and Q did a great job.
Yeah.
Working their D and just kind of getting to the net and putting pucks on them, and obviously you saw it happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like in CHL, to be honest, today. It was kind of crazy, but we got the 3 points. That's important.
Yeah, Dom getting 2 in the first period like that. How big of a boost did you feel like that was? Just finding the puck, it seemed like it was finding its way to you.
Like Noah said, like of us, I getting confidence and we're working hard. We're working like the way we want, and you get it like we got the cookies.
No, I have to ask. It was such a crazy second period because they scored a couple power play goals. They scored 3. You guys scored 3. So how did you take that period in the locker room? Was it more of a we have a ton to improve on? Was it positive, negative? What was the main overarching thought going into the third?
Yeah, we weren't happy with our second period. We all thought we had more, and we knew that we had more, and we don't play to the scoreboard. We play to a standard, as Willie says, and regardless of us coming out of the second up a couple goals, it didn't matter, and it just wasn't our best, and there's so much more to our game than we showed in the second period.
Dom, you guys also executed, get a couple power play goals tonight. What was jiving so well and limited attempts on the power play?
I mean, we start like more shooting pucks. That's like the biggest one. Like we usually playing power play and just playing around, just passing, and we starting finally shooting and a couple of goals in.
Face-offs tonight, Noah, too. That was another thing that was really going your direction. Was that ultimately setting up what you guys were hoping to do, winning a lot of those?
Yeah, I mean it's good to start with the puck. It's a significant advantage if you can start with the puck more times than the other team, and face off something we take a lot of pride in here, and working on it day in day out, and just getting better. Cause we want to be the best face off team in the country, and we've done a great job so far.
Dom, one of the main things going into tomorrow that you guys will definitely want to tighten up on. What was the message on trying to stay out of the box? Because that was a big problem, and then Ferris was able to score 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, like we play the still hockey. Like we want to be physical, we want to be aggressive, and it's too caught off penalty. Like to be honest, and we gotta be like a little bit. You gotta be like a little bit patient, or like maybe sometimes play just with puck without like play just body. I mean, like if you play like that, like those guys will get tired and will dominate like today. I feel like it.
And like 5 goals given up, some very nice defensive plays in there though as well. How do you guys gauge how defense worked today and how you guys were playing inside your own blue?
Yeah, I think like as a 5-man group, I think we can all be better. I mean, I know for myself, I kind of blew the zone there on their goal at the end of the second. Probably shouldn't have, and it ended up in the back of our net. That's just stuff that can't happen, and I take accountability for that. And yeah, we still know we can be better. I mean, nobody wants to give up 5 goals. I mean, we scored 9, but we don't want to give 5 up. When you give 5 up, you're gonna lose most games. So I think we're gonna try to nail that defensive side of the puck in tomorrow and be a lot better.
Yeah, it seemed, especially early on the early goals, a lot of success from behind the goalie and just putting him out of position. What did you guys see there? Was that something coming into the game that you guys saw, or was that just right place, right time?
I mean, that's kind of what we do. I mean, if you watch us play at all, I mean, we cycle pucks, I think, maybe better than anybody. When we're at our best, we're cycling it behind the net and changing sides and low to high and honey hole and slot shots and slot chances, taking the puck to the net. And I thought Emerson was the dog behind the net tonight, and getting me and Dom the puck. And he can't say enough about his work either. The stuff he does even without the puck, it's awesome. He's so fun to play with.
It's super important to do that. Like, be behind the net, get a puck, like battling like 50-50, get a puck. It's so important. Like in ozone, like special because those guys getting tired and you're getting advantage on it.
You guys, one of the largest student sections it seemed like so far this season. What was it like playing in front of the crowd tonight?
It's unbelievable.
It's
I mean,
unbelievable, yeah. I love it.
they were awesome. They're so loud. I mean, it's so easy to get up and play for a game like that when you've got that kind of student base behind you. It's awesome. It makes you work harder. It just injects life into the team and into you, and it's super cool atmosphere and experience to play.
Yeah, I agree.
After a game like this, where you guys score 9 goals, what do you guys need to do tomorrow to carry over this momentum?
I think a lot of the same. Like I just said before, I think our cycle and our grind time, as Willie calls it, down low. I mean, it's a lot to handle, and it's hard to play against.
Yeah.
I think if we can continue doing that, that's the way we play, and that's when we're at our best. So if we can continue doing that, we should score some more goals.